Welcome everybody to Perpetual Backlog Podcast, your gaming podcast that talks about all things gaming news, gaming adjacent, gaming. I'm your host, like usual, Aqua, and joining me, like always, is our capybara, Dalit.
Always happy to be here.
And always a capybara. And our pizza monger, Leek.
Every time you say that, I can't help but giggle, because the word mongering in itself, it sounds really funny. I'm not sure if it's entirely accurate either, but...
No, because a monger is a dealer. So you're not a pizza monster.
I don't deal in pizza.
You are dealing
I fucking
in
just
pizza.
consume. I don't deal anything. I wish I could have an enterprise of pizza, but I don't. There is no... The only transaction happening is me buying it.
In an alternate universe, Leek, you are the pizza mafia.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah. Everybody that is anybody has to come to you to enjoy pizza.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You wield such power.
You even have your own money, where it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the picture of you eating pizza. So.
All right. Have you seen the movie, the one starring Jet Li? I imagine now there's like this multiverse happening.
Oh yeah. Yes.
There can only be one. Actually, I actually really like that movie. So.
Yeah, it's alright.
So, Dalit, I hear you're close to finishing your relic, if not finishing it.
No, it's done.
Oh,
the deed is done.
Yeah.
Though not without great personal
sacrifice,
because your boy might have forgotten that you could just do raids for that 30x6 step. And I sat down and spent so much time in Bajja. And no one wanted to do Zone 2 parties. So I would occasionally get to the Fate or the Skirmish, and I'd get a silver. And I was so mad so often. And then I had to go around killing the Guardians so that I could spark the critical engagements, because you don't get them by doing skirmishes. You have to take out the 4th Legion guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. And then like with most of it done, I was like, I could be doing raids? What?
Yep.
Many angry things were said in bad faith in that moment.
I know your pain, because especially the second zone pain, because that was the last zone I had to complete too when doing that step. Because nobody's in that zone. Nobody's doing that zone for some reason.
Yeah,
it's always zone 1 and zone 3.
And zone 3, yeah. I have no idea why zone 2 just gets ignored. But regardless, I managed to get everything, and I finished the next step in what felt like 15 minutes. It wasn't. It was a few hours, but by comparison, it was a blink of the eye.
Yeah, because you only had to do Dalriada like 3 times.
I actually never did Dalriada because I'm also working. Because I remember I was unleveling. I was working through a second one.
So you did Delubrum.
I did Delubrum to catch up my white mage. Yes.
Yeah. Delubrum's good. I mean, it's always a toss up, because I don't like Castrum as much as I like either Dalriada or Delubrum. And then on some days I like Delubrum, and then on some days I like Dalriada, like just like a little bit better than each other. It just depends on like the mood that I'm in.
I haven't actually done Dalriada yet.
Oh, it's so good.
I unlocked it. I have had the ability to do it for quite some time. I just haven't done it yet. But I plan to, because I actually really liked the Bajja storyline. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite character is a traitor who is somewhat redeemed at the end, I imagine, given that last cutscene before Dalriada. I'm sure she'll come in and like save the day or something. No spoilers. I will get there. But yeah, I liked the angry row woman. I think I understood where she was coming from. I would say her name, but my mouth isn't capable of making that word right now.
It's like Missia, something like that. Missia.
You know what? I'll take you at your word.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't think you pronounce the J. I don't think you pronounce the J. I think it's just Missia.
but yeah, no, I've really enjoyed that, and I really like the Dalriada, the Delubrum as a encounter.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because I don't need to sit in the zone and wait for it to pop. Because oh boy, I will say this: a little bit of it is that I like just being able to queue in for it. But I genuinely liked what was happening. Also,
Yeah.
I'm way
No,
better at it than the other two.
you'll like Dalriada. And when you get to the final boss in Dalriada, make sure your OST or your background music is on.
Ah, bold of you to
Boss.
assume I ever turned it off.
I mean, some people do. I don't know what you do. I don't know how you play video games, man.
Hmm.
But
Well, I
the
plan
boss
to.
music for it is Chef's Kiss. So good.
All right, now Square. I just need to fight Noah at some point. You keep talking about him. You keep showing him in cutscene. Just bring one of the more interesting parts of 12 and actually let me fight it.
So Leek, what did you do this week?
You know what? I did fuck all except for work.
You did,
That's
So
I
I
did
didn't
see you
actually
were back
get
at.
around to play any games. I watched lots of other people play games
Oh.
while I worked. That's what I did.
I did see you were back at the sandwich shop.
Harry's,
yeah. I'm
Very
so
pleased to see that.
happy. Yeah. You know, so I was doing a lot of like illustration work and then also had real life work too. And also that was all I had time for this week. So I thought about games.
It's fine. I understood. I
That
played
was
14
me.
for you.
Yeah. No, I played. I haven't even freaking up my subscription for that either. Yeah. No, I had a little like fool around with Guilty Gear. Just had like time, but
Oh,
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah. And I know. It's literally just watching. I wanted to buy Alien Isolation, but then I don't know when my brain just stopped. I just that's some like weird executive. I even went onto the PlayStation store. I was like, no, I don't have time to play this. I won't buy this. So,
Incredibly stupid question that I kind of know the answer to, but I have to ask anyway.
yeah.
Do you happen to be a Twitch Prime member? Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
Yes.
You do? Well then, don't buy Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation is free for those with Twitch Prime right now.
So you're saying you have to use a PC?
I'm sorry?
PC?
You would have to... Oh, god damn it.
Ah.
Yeah.
But
she would have
soon
to use
I will
PC.
have my PC
But-
because
but-
I have
Oh,
gathered
yes.
enough money now.
But get it,
Oh,
because then
yeah.
it's yours and you own it.
Ah, okay then.
Yeah.
Well then,
Yeah.
well then, I'll do that then.
Haha.
Same
Talk
with
to you
people
more
that
about
want.
that after the cast.
Yeah. Same with people that want what is it, Star Wars Squadron?
Star
It is
Wars
also free.
Squadrons, Ghost Runner, and Alien Isolation are three
I got
free
Squadrons
AAA
already.
titles.
Oh, Ghost Runner's on there?
Yes. Star Wars
okay.
Squadrons comes through EA Origin. I do not like the Origin launcher, but you know, it's a great pickup. Ghost Runner, which is a game I'm sure we all were seeing as it kind of blew up there for a little bit, is free through Good Old Games, and Alien Isolation comes through Epic Game Store.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Dolly, you also played some 11 this week, right?
Yeah, I re-upped my sub to 11 because I needed a break from Bozja, which is probably going to sound weird to people who are
Redundant
doing...
or
No, people who are
oxymoronic?
doing the extraneous content, because both Eureka and Bozja, and I guess Zadnor, because it's not strictly speaking Bozja,
Or
that's all
just
just
11
11. That's
copy.
11
Yeah.
in 14.
Yeah.
But
It's
I had a
easier
very
11.
specific goal in 14 and that I wasn't achieving, and my stress levels were through the roof. So I was like, you know what? I was going to do this anyway. I'm going to do it now. So I did re-up my sub to 11. I'm starting from scratch on a new character. Still an elf, still Sandy, because, weird loyalty that I shouldn't have. I've gotten through my red mage. Red mage is currently at 50, and I unlocked dancer, and I'm now actually progressing through meaningful story.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the only reason I want to play this game. I do not care about cap. I do not care about chasing the end game. I just want to enjoy the stories of 11 that I was unable to do so last time I played.
Yeah, if that game ever gets voice acted, I'll play it, but no. After that, no.
I mean, the 20th anniversary is coming up. A lot of people are assuming there's going to be another expansion. My hope is that project that died when Nexus died, or Nexon died, has been spiritually picked up by another company, and that they still are planning on putting out a new kind of
The,
like version
the
for
single
11.
player
I don't
11.
necessarily think it needs to be single player, but whatever it is they're planning, a way for people to enjoy this story.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking forward to Promathia and Wings, but I'm going to go in order, so it's going to take me just a little bit to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if I'm right, it goes Vanilla, Zillert, Promathia, Wings, into Adeline or Adargan. I forget which one. But I never did this, so I'm going to go about it the hard way. Hopefully, I suffer needlessly, and they put out a game that lets you all not suffer and enjoy this story.
Hopefully.
But honestly, I think I actually I don't know. I don't know if I felt this last time. I actually really enjoyed playing 11. It's like a break game, probably because I don't set very intensive goals. Like I said in other games, like platinums or get my relic in a week or whatever. No, I'm just going around, just enjoying the content like that's there. It's like a fresh expansion drop for me. Only I know the spoilers already, so I'm in no rush to get through it.
Yeah, I can see that. Man, what didn't I play this week? That's the easier question
You
to
were
ask.
busy.
Yeah.
That's a definitely easier game. Easier question to ask. So, I'll start off with the easy one. I played a chapter of Yakuza 0. In between the time that I was doing nothing and Kuro no Kiseki came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to get through that game at some point in time.
That's one starring.
That's what that Kiryu and Majima, or that's people you play as.
Yeah, Goro Majima. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the prequel one?
Yeah, it's the one that starts off the whole Yakuza series.
Good. That's a good one. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. My plan is to go through them all. I've been told many of times, you don't need to go through them all. Just go play Yakuza 7 because it's that's a super good game. And I'm like, my brain does not work this way because I've played the Trail series, and the Trail series kind of works in the same way Yakuza does, where it's all connected, but you see there's stuff that like will happen in Yakuza 6 that is a reference to stuff that happens in like Yakuza 2, and I want to get those references. I don't want to sit there and be like, I don't understand this. So my brain spiders just tells me to go through them all in chronological order. So
Zero is a good start off anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I like it a lot. So, it's just obviously I play too many games. What else did I touch? I beat Dark Souls 1 this week.
Rats.
Cheated a lot to beat Dark Souls 1. But item duping. So my time playing it was a lot easier than it was when than it is like in my beginning runs of Dark Souls 3. But that's like I went through the rest of the game by myself pretty much. I did have Evan like come in like earlier on in the game, or like Evan and Psycho were playing with me earlier. But like I beat the game by myself, but I was like up level 100 and something. by the
Just
end.
it's easy. Just parry forehead.
Yeah, just parry forehead. Well, I didn't parry at all against Win. So
Oh, did you? Well, I guess that's fair, actually.
no. I mean, I went the Unga Bunga mode. I poised through
Oh,
everything he
Haveled
did.
and poised through. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean it's because like in the beginning of the game when I was playing with Psycho, we killed the Black Knight and I immediately got the Black Knight sword, which is the sword I ended the game with. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's a.
uh,
If you can get one of the Black Knights to drop their weapons early, it's amazing.
so we just went Unga Bunga and like I got impatient because I wanted to like actually get through the game or whatever, and like I didn't either have like Evan or whatever going through with me, and then Evan showed me like the item dupe thing, and I was just like, okay, well, whatever. But it's whatever. Dark Souls 1 is whatever. Dark Souls 3, on the other hand, I have gone through most of it without doing anything like that. Which I mean, it's even harder to do it in that game anyway. I have been playing with a friend though, so we've gone through like pretty much all the bosses together. I think there's a couple of bosses that I did by myself though. We were in Lothark's castle. We fought the dancer last night.
Oh,
And,
okay.
I did try the first area of the Ashes of Arendelle DLC. That area sucks. It wasn't that bad when I first got into it or whatever, but as soon as I ran into the wolves, it was over. There were so many wolves. It's ridiculous. But I'll go through that DLC probably after I beat the game. Because I want Frida's scythe. Because those are dual wielding scythes, so it's pretty cool. Dark Souls. Oh yeah. So my plan now with Dark Souls is to get through 3, probably get through most of the DLC. Maybe while Ashes of Arendelle is one thing that I know I'll probably get through it. I hear the Ring City's actually a little bit harder as well. So it's a maybe I'll get through that both of them. Who knows?
I don't know which one. I don't know if I'd say the Ring City's harder. God, Frida's rough.
Yeah, I hear Frida's. Frida apparently has like three phases.
Yes.
And the second phase is like the hardest. So
she's also an anime character in this game.
yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure I've seen the fight before. I think I've seen Evan fight her before. I know there's a way where you can have two phantoms with you in the game, because the game allows you to have, to summon 2 of your friends, a third if you have a dried finger or if the person has a dried finger. Psycho's internet's a bit weird, so sometimes that hasn't worked for us yet. But hopefully on a day where his internet's okay, we're gonna have Evan and Psycho come in to do Frida if and when I get up to Frida. That way it makes that fight a little bit more fair. But yeah, Dark Souls has been a lot more fun than I originally expected it to be. My
Games
plan
are more fun with friends. Who knew?
Yeah, I know, right? My overall plan for the Soulsborne series at this moment in time is to get through at least base Dark Souls 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have another friend that is a big Bloodborne fan, all right? And he will be helping me run through Bloodborne, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I will get Demon Souls. And I can have I have whether between my friend that's running me through Bloodborne or my friend or Evan and Psycho, we can all play Demon Souls together. Actually, Evan can't because Evan doesn't have a PS5, so it's either between Psycho or my other friend. And then after all that, depending on when in the world that this is in like the world timeline, either attempt to play Dark Souls 2, because I hear that there's almost no point in playing it, but like some of my other friends are like, don't completely skip Dark Souls 2, just like I guess go through it like a little bit at a time or something like that. And then hopefully prepare myself to play Elden Ring. Because if I'm going through all these games, I may as well play the newest one.
Correct.
So, Elden Ring will be interesting to go through. What else? I'm trying to leave Kuro for last, so I'm trying to make sure that I didn't touch any other game this week. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I played Stranger of Paradise for a little bit, because the
demo.
The demo is out.
Yeah.
I do plan to pick that up this week. Yeah, I never got around to it.
That we'll talk about that later on because it's TGS. But I haven't beat Chaos again yet. I'm actually right before Chaos. I grinded my monk up to my character up to having monk and pretty much all of the abilities for monk. While I love playing monk in this game, it is not my playstyle in this game. All right. It feels like a monk. It's fast. It does like a decent amount of damage or whatever. It's very combo heavy, so I guess if anybody's into like actual character action games with like combos and all that crap, you'd be pretty good with this. My style is definitely like warrior or maybe knight-ish because I need to try out knight. Because I tried fighting Garland and I've gotten him down to like almost dead as monk, but it's one of those things where monk's really fast, but it's not super hard hitting, so it kind of makes the fight go on a little longer.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
And again, it's very combo. It's not like with warrior where I see I know the pattern for Garland in Stranger of Paradise. I know how to like dodge most of his stuff or whatever. But it's one of those things that when the fight goes longer than what it really needs to be, you're more prone to like mistakes. And Garland's ice sword is almost a one hit sometimes. So I'm just gonna go back through it, level up warrior, maybe go into knight to see what that like feels like or whatever. And go through and Unga Bunga him. Because like I know how to dodge most of his stuff, but like if I'm only like hitting him for like a little bit amount of damage outside of like if I'm hitting him with the gigantic ass sword where it takes off maybe like an extra 10% more of his health, then that's just kind of how I feel like I'll play this game better. There is another mission I haven't tried yet in this game. You get another NPC character. I think her name is Noelle. I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw this. I don't have her name memorized yet.
You can't pick. You can't customize the jobs for your characters or for your NPCs yet. They are still pretty much Donald and Goofy. And I mean, yeah. So it still has a shitty aesthetic. Everything is definitely mid 2000s edgelord. Looking like you're still wearing nothing but leather and a bandana.
Yeah. So far from what I've heard from anyone who's tried the demo, like the gameplay. No one really is going for the.
Yeah, gameplay good, aesthetic is and then the story aspect of what we'll get into that later, but it's
all right.
It's yeah.
It's okay.
All right, and then lastly, obviously I've been waiting for Kuro no Kiseki to come out, and it's out, and I'm in the middle of chapter 2, and holy shit, this game is different. Very, very different. It is like it has your base trails, like aspects or whatever, but it plays so much different because there's an action aspect to the game now. Which kind of you're forced into doing command style combat for most of your major fights or whatever, or like if there's like a boss at the end of a quest line or whatever, it's going to be command style combat. But all your trash mob stuff that when you're running around through areas, you can actually fight outside of command style. You can just, you spam like an action combo or whatever, and then hit R2 to like do like a big hitting move that sometimes stun. What I have learned from playing like maybe 10 hours of this game is that this kind of replaces your R2 attack or your R1 attack from the outside of command style battle, which like made you go into command style battle in previous games, where in this game you can do like health damage to them outside and like kill them outside of command style. But if you stun them and then you press square, it pretty much replaces your triple advantage type thing that you had in the previous Trails games, where you do a bunch of damage, you stun them, you hit square, it throws you into the command style combat, but it also throws them on like a 10 move delay where they won't attack after you've attacked like maybe 6 or 7 times. And it also does more damage to them going into that combat. So it's very interesting. Each character has their own type of like their own type of like style of action combat. So like some enemies that have like really hard shells or whatever, Vaughn or the other girl that I have, Fairy, those two won't do much damage if they're just doing your regular attack. But you have Agnes, who does magic attack. So if you attack them with that, it'll actually do like a lot of HP damage to them. So it kind of like makes you want to like swap characters while you're doing the action combat. I only have 3 characters at the moment, which is Vaughn, the main character, who actually might be rivaling to be probably one of the best main characters in the Trail series.
The whole series.
That's a big thing to say after 2 chapters.
He's kind of badass. he's just so Vaughn is a I wouldn't say he runs this place called Arkwright Solutions because his name is Van Arkwright, all right?
Yeah.
Their code name is Spriggan. And what he does is that he's pretty much, okay, so he's a bracer, but he's not a bracer, but he works like a bracer, but does pretty much any type of job you'll give him. That requires like it could be a job from Heyu, who are the like mafia in Calvard, or it could be a job from Ouroboros. Like Ouroboros can like request him to do something, or the church might request him to do something, or the bracers might request him to do something. He will take pretty much, if somebody comes up to him with the job, he'll sit down and talk to him about it, and if it's interesting enough to him, he'll take it. So it doesn't matter. Like one of the lines in the trailers was like, it doesn't matter if it's Heyu or Boros, the bracers or whatever, I will do what I need to do, etc. So, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. So he's a little bit more like Yuri in that aspect. There's a character that dies in chapter 1. She's like on the verge of dying anyway, at the time, but she requests like to somebody to end her suffering. All right.
Ooh, that's rough.
And where have we heard that before?
Yeah, one of your team members was going to do it because they're like friends. But Vaughn steps up and is like, "No, I'll do it," and comes down here, takes a sword, and just plunges it right into her heart. So a very that's a very thing that you can compare to Yuri, because Yuri literally does pretty much the same thing in Vesperia.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Also, 2 people have died in this game in the first one chapter, like the prologue and the first chapter.
To me.
Those are deaths that we've had in this game that we haven't had since like Sky second chapter, and that was like eight games ago. because everybody else just doesn't die in this game. Actually, I was just talking. Oh, actually, never mind. V in Cold Steel 2 dies.
Oh, that's true. I did forget about that.
And Gideon dies too, but he kind of dies off screen, if I recall correctly. But yeah, those are actually the only deaths. I mean, Crow technically dies, but he comes back to life, so pretty much anybody that dies doesn't like stay dead. By the way, Cold Steel spoilers. But I mean, these games have also been out for quite a while. No, I really like this game. Vaughn's nice. Agnes is nice, even though I sometimes want to call her Agnes because that's kind of like how her name is spelled. And Fairy is a Jaeger you get. She joined your party. She's pretty nice. She has a gun, which makes the action combat a lot better. I will not be streaming this game for the next 2 nights because I've got other plans, but I will be continuing on later on this week with it. So yeah, I think that's literally all I've played this week.
Well, may you enjoy that.
Oh yeah, it's really good, and the opening's
My
really
path
good
of
too.
my fucking house is so...
Oh, they also have a new engine that they're using in Kuro.
Really?
And it makes their cutscenes a lot better. They showcase this engine a little bit in Hajimari, where some of their action cutscenes used specifically this engine. But this whole game is being played in their new in-house engine. It's nothing like to write home about because other games have better engines. But it's Falcom, so all their money goes into voice acting anyway. Yeah, that's all I played this week. So we had TGS this week. A lot of stuff came out. And Little has a question. He said,
Hi, Little.
he said, "How about that Final Fantasy 16 news? And what was your second favorite part of TGS?"
Oh, you jokester.
Because our favorite part was the Final Fantasy 16 news that we got, right?
Yeah, all of that news.
You're all terrible. I saw that and panicked like I'd missed something.
No, but what was your guys' favorite part of TGS before we actually start getting into the nitty gritty?
So someone took the idea of Thomas the Tank Engine mods and pushed it further because it was this fucking game by 2-Star Games. I just watched a trailer of it this morning. It's on IGN. Like Choo Choo Charles.
Huh.
It's essentially a fucking scary train that just chases your character and eats the locals.
And eats a local?
The locals.
The locals.
The
all
local.
of them. All the
Okay.
locals.
All of them.
Yes. Players need to creep around completing quests and collecting scraps to upgrade your own train that you escape on constantly. But you need to keep a watchful eye. Terrifying Choo Choo Charles chases you.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this?
So this was your favorite part of TGS?
No, well, I guess not, but it threw me through a loop. I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, there you go. Yes. Charles. Actually, no, the most interesting part for me was they had a virtual reality event floor. They made a whole virtual world for people who still want to go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
So I was watching someone's going through that. Well, that was interesting. I hope they continue this with other events too. It's just a nice way to safely look at stuff and still experience some sort of trip out there. But they had let's see, they had basically social experiences. You could have your own avatar, virtual world, and just walk around, interact with, like, I guess, NPCs and other people that are there as well. And they had like big built statues, various characters. Like there was a lot of monsters from Monster in the Capcom area. That Sonic everywhere now. But yeah, you know, that kind of thing. They had displays. You could watch trailers. There was some interactive stuff you can go into as well. Yeah, it was yeah, the Oculus on that too. The PC version of this is a lot better. I don't know if the world's still up though.
Something
I
worth
just
looking
thought
up.
it was neat. Thought it was neat. It's a good idea.
Definitely something worth looking up.
Yeah.
Dole.
Well, for me, it's a toss-up. Either my favorite point was listening to the Microsoft folks attempt their best Japanese. Always great, always a fun listen. Or, more realistically, perhaps not Stranger of Paradise itself, so much as all the memes that sprung from it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I wonder what I'm talking about. It seems like no matter what happens, this game, every time it enters a new cycle of its development, will have one meme, one very strong meme come from it. Last time it was, of course, chaos. I'm gonna kill chaos. Now it's bullshit. Cue early 2000s new metal.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit.
Meteora. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
no, it was I like I have a lot of strong negative feelings about that game, but the memes have been so good.
That's definitely one of my favorite part. Like the meme of him just like I thought it was fake at first. I thought
Absolutely,
the
100%.
original was a meme. All right. And then I literally watched the original and I was like, wait. He literally pulls out an iPhone and blasts some like early 2000s new metal. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
I had to watch that scene from at least 4 different people because I assumed everyone was just messing with me.
and I was just like, oh my god. Oh. The story for this game is going to be jank.
We're gonna get to it in a second, but yeah, I have some thoughts, and they're not all negative because this was actually a really good trailer.
Yeah.
But good memes though, top tier.
Is it like sort of like they're trying to westernize it, appeal to the West? But
Yes,
they took the bits that I don't know.
like it's weird because I want to say yes, but Jack looks just like their Neo characters, so I don't even know if that's necessarily true. It feels like this game is happening at least 10 years too late, probably more.
I think it's just Nomura being Nomura. I think it has his name on it, so it's immediately gonna have some kind of weird fucky shit with it. It's definitely something.
It's just the mannerisms of Jack too. So manly man.
Yeah, he's from another time, this man.
I mean, he literally is from another time, most likely.
There's
no way.
Yeah.
There's no way he pulls out a phone and blasts his early.
He's from the early 2000s.
Yeah, 2000s new metal, and him actually being like in a time where knights and fucking like princesses exist. No.
Okay, listen to me, devs. Put this out on PC so I can mod his phone so it just plays like Hybrid Theory and Meteora, and I'll be kind of in.
Could you imagine him pulling out his phone and it just plays baby metal?
Yes. Yes, I know what the internet is capable of. I
Oh,
listened to it
goodness.
all weekend.
So good. I don't know if I have a favorite part of TGS. It was all like stuff I pretty much expected outside of outside of Jack pulling out a phone and playing early 2000s new metal.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, so I don't think this news was announced at TGS. I don't think like, because actually maybe it was announced at TGS. I don't know. But I woke up one morning and I saw the Tales of Arise collaboration with Sword Art Online, and I rolled over and I was like, really? I know I said I wanted battle content, but
It all makes sense in hindsight, but oof, wow, that's a choice.
I it was like, okay, I knew they were going to do something, but Sword Art Online? I mean, it's Bamco. Bamco makes both games, but I expected more Idolmaster, to be fair. Now, I saw the
What are we
trailer.
gonna do? Fight a bunch of really cute dancing, singing idols?
I mean, I just expected more costumes.
Oh,
mean,
yeah, same, actually. That's
Rinwell
entirely true.
Rinwell is the only character that has the Idolmaster costume, so I expected maybe Kasara and Shion would get one, but actually the free update costumes that they're coming out with for her eyes is they're pretty funny. Kasara gets a gigantic popsicle for a weapon, and
So she easily has my favorite new weapon of the group.
Did you see Shion's Super Soaker?
I did see her Super Soaker. Yeah.
It's so good. I was like, this is good. And there's
Super
free
Soaker.
battle content. There's free battle content with it too, but the SAO cross collaboration costs like $16. Which is fair. It's a fight. You get Kirito's weapons, you get costumes for Alpha and
Shion,
Law and
Alphen,
Shion.
and Law. Yeah.
Yeah. And Alphen gets a new Mystic Art, which I am confused as the logistics of how this Mystic Art actually happens when you're not in the I guess the training ground. Because Kirito and Asuna jump in and do attacks with Alphen to do this Mystic Art, and I'm sitting here like, how are they going to do this without being in the party? And then I thought of something even more sinister, which was,
Don't say the words.
I gotta say the words. What if the last two open spots in the party list is actually for Asuna and Kirito?
They're not. And how dare you say that out loud?
Well, I was like, maybe they're keeping it under wraps until like they finally launch it. All right. And I'm sitting here like, I would be okay. I'm gonna push this aside for a second. I'm 100% buying this DLC. All right, $16 is nothing to me, and I kind of want that Mystic Art, and I kind of want to pummel Kirito's face into the ground, which I'll do that because there's no way that this encounter is near level 100. The video that they showed still had Alphen in his mask, so that means it's at least 40 to 50. But I would be so angry if the last two spots were filled up with Kirito and Asuna. I'd be so fucking angry because I'd be like,
especially when they could have been spoiler and spoiler.
They could have been anybody and anybody.
It's true.
That could have been Zephyr.
Yeah, it could have been, as a matter of fact.
But also, it could have been spoiler. It could be spoiler and spoiler. Which, I mean, it's not really spoiler anymore because if anybody watched our last episode. But yeah, anyway.
Oh, that's true.
But either way. It could have been spoiler and spoiler, and I would have been, actually, I'd have been way more happier with that. That's to say that if Kirito and Asuna do get put in the party, I will probably play a lot of Asuna because that's kind of my aesthetic when it comes to like fighting characters or whatever.
Pretty
pretty sword girl with the rapier. Like the rapier is the
God, yeah. Now that you've said it
100%.
like that, you're just describing Weiss.
Yeah,
Fair.
it's Weiss, Asuna. Even in Kurono Kiseki, there's a bracer called Elaine. All right, and she uses a rapier type weapon, and she's actually called the Sword Maiden. So, I mean, Either way, I will not be happy. I will buy it, but I won't be happy about it. But yeah,
It's like that Pingu gif where he's like slapping a heart on a car and he's got a really grumpy pissed off face.
yeah. But yeah, that was the big thing at a TGS that I rolled over and was like and kind of caught my eye like immediately. So yeah. That'll be fun playing that. But we should probably go through like the big talking points of TGS real quickly.
Yes, let's do that.
So I guess we'll start off with
I'll
that.
very kindly put a list together. So
yeah,
I don't have to look at
we
the
already
pages.
Yeah, we already have it. Yeah. We're gonna start with what everybody in here loves the most: Squeenix.
It's true.
Yep, we all play Squeenix games. That's the one constant in our life is that a Squeenix game comes out, we're either interested in it or interested in watching people play it.
The voice actor for Raubon presented it.
Yeah,
he did. He did.
Yeah, the JP Raubon.
Yeah.
Oh, JP Raubon. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was
you were expecting the Northern boy.
I was actually thinking Jason Charles Miller there for a second. I was like, I don't remember seeing that cowboy motherfucker.
Yeah, no.
That's right. I forgot he was the Aram Rabon.
Yeah, Aram Rabon. I was like, I don't remember that. But yeah, the JP Raubon did it. He also did what? He did Grimoire of Vice in Japanese too.
Yeah, that's right.
He did.
Yep.
So yeah, he was funny. They stated right off the bat, he's like, I got word from Yoshi P. I know you guys want to see Final Fantasy 16, but it's not going to be here. So we move on. For spoken trailer, we've already seen everything. Still looks good.
I saw some in-game stuff too. Slightly.
I couldn't remember when. I couldn't remember when writing this if we'd seen the combat before because it did feel very familiar to the E3 trailer.
Yeah, the cutscenes are the same.
Yeah, it looks great. My goodness, that game looks like it's going to be interesting in genuinely in a good way.
Any Sakai.
It's the Square thing this year, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
It still looks good. The movement in this game makes me think of Warframe a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Warframe's a very speedy game. It looks really good. I'm interested in it. I don't know if it's going to be a day one pickup, but I know Happy's going to be picking it up day one, so I'll probably watch him and see if I want to play it. So, Project Triangle Strategy is no longer Project Triangle Strategy. It is Triangle Strategy. So,
I don't know why we assume these are just dev names at this point. Of course, they're just going to go with it. That's how they've incidentally advertised this game. Now that's what everyone's calling it.
It's built with the same engine as Octopath Traveler.
God, it good.
It looks like it has better upgrades with than Octopath Traveler. It kind of looks more graphically heavy. By heavy, I mean it's not going to be hard to run at all. But
it looks like that they've become more comfortable with the art style thereafter.
Yeah,
so they were able to really cut loose and have fun.
Definitely looks really good. There is a PC version for this, right? They already stated it's going to come to PC, or is it just Switch?
I don't know. I only know Triangle Strategy for Switch right now, and I don't remember there being an update.
Yeah, it's just Switch
yesterday. So, for as much as we know, currently just Switch.
Yeah,
that will probably be a timed exclusive.
Yeah, 6 months down the line it'll be on PC. That's when I'll get it. ActRaiser. I know you were questioning that it's a pretty throwback to the 90s version or whatever. It's literally the 90s version just remastered.
Yeah.
And not on an arcade machine.
Okay. Yeah, I might have missed something, but I was like, this has real feels of the old game.
Yeah, no.
And I'm not
It's just a
entirely
remastered version of
familiar.
it.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
And one you don't have to pay like 25 to 50 cents to play. So,
Hey.
Yoko Taro's new card game, the Owl Dragon Roars. I'm pretty sure it's technically already out. I've seen people play it. I don't know if it's a demo that's out or if it's like the full thing. But it's a Yoko Taro card game, so I think it's got some connections with Drakengard or Nier.
Yeah, there were dragons abound.
Dragons.
Mhm.
Abound.
I mean, also it's called Dragon Roars, so
Yeah.
As for the release date, it's not out yet, but it will be dropping at the end of this month.
We saw this during the Nintendo Direct, right? So
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
yeah.
Life is Strange True Colors trailer. So when I watched this, man, Twitch chat was
Livid, no doubt.
They were like, "Why is this Western stuff in our JP conference?"
Yeah, that's what I expect.
But it there is a JP version of it. I think the trailer was in Japanese.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
And,
it just they did a translation for it.
And for people that like those types of games, it's coming out in Japan, so you'll be able to play that. And I think both the original and the prequel one is also getting a JP release as well. So that'll be good for people. But yeah, chat was a bit monka-essing there for a little while.
Oh, that'd be silly. Like, the next game is literally a Capcom, a Marvel game, so...
And they were also monka-essing during that, too.
Yeah, people were saying before
What the
TGS
hell?
even started, this was one of the games they did not want to see anything on.
Yeah.
Presumably,
okay.
to be fair, this is a little bit on Square for having a whole conference that was, like, dominated by this game previously.
Mm-hmm. So...
But it shouldn't be
Recent Loads of
surprising that they
Guardians.
want to sell their product to us, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Yeah,
Guardian Galaxy
Guardians.
story trailer was shown. There obviously is going to be a JP release of it as well, but it drops at the end of the month, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it looks great. I understand why people didn't care to see more information on this.
Yeah.
Admittedly, like the first time they showed it off, we got a huge amount of information.
Mm-hmm.
But like it looks grand. It's not a game I'm going to pick up right away, but it's a game I'm probably going to pick up on sale during the holidays.
Yeah. An actual new IP was revealed at this presents. It's called Dungeon Encounters, where you go through dungeons, pretty much.
Yeah, you're filling out a map. I don't know, Leek, did you get more information on this than perhaps I did?
No, I just watched the trailer and I was trying to work out what is interesting about this game, because you just go through this grid.
She's absolutely right.
I'm sorry. Like, what is...
It's literally filling out a grid to completion. It's like, I mean, it's grand. It's neat. It has combat in it in terms of like turn-based pictures attacking each other, and it has the best character out of this whole presentation, big white cat. But yeah, no, I for a game they didn't announce beforehand, only to announce and is about to come out, this was perhaps not the strongest way they could have sold people on it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be for like, I figure it's people that love like dungeon exploring, and it's one of those games that you know it's an old school turn-based JRPG where your job is to literally just go through dungeons and map out dungeons.
Yeah, I mean that's correct. That is correct.
But it's just visually a grid, or not even that, like a path. We'll see.
Who knows?
I'm sure that there'll be more to it.
Yeah, it might be good. Who knows? So Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, new trailer. It's a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale-esque. So they said Battle Royale-esque and not actually Battle Royale. So I wonder what's the difference between a battle royale-esque type game and battle royale games.
If I had to wager, it would be perhaps a non-shrinking area and more customization, like more
Possible.
RPG aspects. But it looks like it's going to be PvP, PvEVP, because we
Yeah.
did see like fights against bombs and such.
Yeah.
The gameplay looks actually pretty all right. I'm not really into
Yeah.
this types of thing, but I feel like there's going to be some story added into this. So
Well,
if
there
you
is
don't,
because in the trailer you see glimpses of things that happen,
yeah,
and it's specifically at a certain time period in the Final Fantasy story. You
yeah,
see the
it's
back of the heads of certain lady, and then you see Hojo pointing a gun at someone off screen. You know what happens there, right? The
yeah.
Twitter was going, "Wow, it's this," as they do.
So uh it's our flashback of before Dirge Cerberus, I guess, where
Yeah.
we get to see all this stuff. Obviously the
Either that,
threats.
or this will be a theater that allows you to see all this with also a completely different game attached to it. So
Well,
Yeah,
it's called First Soldier, right? Is assuming this is going to be while they're experimenting with Genova shit. So
Mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it does make
So
sense that those two characters show up. Yeah.
yeah.
probably won't play this, but I will definitely look at all the cutscenes that comes out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, is it
'Cause
on mobile? I heard
it's
this was
yeah,
on a mobile.
it's a mobile game,
Okay.
which means we'll play it on BlueStacks.
Correct.
Yeah.
Uh, um, Mario Kart Chicken Race.
No,
Coming out.
so Chocobo Racing is an old game.
It is.
It was
It
out
is.
for since PlayStation, I think. So yeah, no. Actually, quite excited about this. It looks really fun.
It looks adorable.
Yes, it does.
I genuinely don't think it's. I think, or rather, I do think it's quite hard to mess up a kart racer.
Oh yeah.
There are so many good examples to lift from. Like I said, when I made this partial script, I did specifically call out what I am hoping it's referencing because I didn't play the original. So I am hoping this does feel like Crash Team Racing or a bit of Mario Kart, just with all these extra Final Fantasy characters and unique Final Fantasy isms, the magics, the I can't wait to see what tracks we have. It'll be good fun. It'll
Mhm.
be good fun.
Yeah. I hope it. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna play it because it's a Switch game. So, but if it,
I just want Sly to play it.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Crash Team Racing is a really good. I love out of all the kart games, I love Crash Team Racing the most.
Same.
It's just it honestly it just it feels like I mean Mario Kart's all okay, but I Crash Team Racing just feels like more polished. Just feels better. I think it controls better. I don't know. I couldn't pinpoint it. I don't play Mario Kart games, so but um yeah. And then the last thing they showed was Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. Yeah. So
Okay, let's get it out of our system.
there's a demo. Devin Dalit hasn't played it yet.
I have
Which he
not.
should.
I plan to.
It ends on the 11th, I think.
I'll play before that.
They revealed the main character's full name, which is Jack Garland.
Garland.
So
Jack Garland.
if anybody's played Final Fantasy 1, they know that Garland is the first boss and the knight that captures Princess Sarah, which doesn't seem to actually happen in this game.
Yeah, it seems like they are. First of all, it seems like Garland, as we understand him, doesn't exist yet.
No.
Because it seemed that Garland that we fought in the last demo is this new young lady.
Oh, see, I didn't watch the full cutscene, so I have no idea.
Neither did I, but that's what the trailer seemed to hint at with what she was saying.
I have to I'll have to actually because I need to go in and beat Garland because I wasn't gonna watch because there's a new cutscene after you beat Garland. It doesn't just end the game. You actually get a
Oh.
cutscene after you beat him. Yeah, because where I think where they have that conversation at maybe I have no
Yeah,
idea actually.
it did look like like the throne room.
Yeah, but I need to go through. I need to actually beat Garland again and do that second mission. I'll honestly all I have seen is Jack say bullshit, whip out phone, play music.
It was I genuinely still can't believe that's real. Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get. I will say this. I still somehow remember playing through the first demo. The gameplay was really good. I very much enjoyed playing Dragoon. So I'm not actually like that worried about gameplay
The
stuff.
gameplay,
That's
no,
not
yeah.
the weakness of this for me. Looking at the trailer, they did move away from all leather and like the early 2000s aesthetic for a bit. We saw Bicky the Pirate, at least I assume that's Bicky. And
Yeah.
we saw kings and brightly colored things. We saw Tiamat. There's a hope for this game to not be absolutely miserable the whole way through aesthetically. Is it the Amaro Dark Souls we wanted? No, absolutely not. And it still suffers from being well too dark and well too gritty and not really fun enough. But if Bicky is a sign of things to come, or at least if the pirate we saw was a sign of things to come, maybe, I hope so. I don't want to dislike this game. It's fodder for memes. I want this game to succeed, if for no other reason than to see what nonsense they do. I just am still not 100% behind it yet.
Well, the gameplay's still there. The game still works fine. Obviously, the demos does still have some frame rate dips even on PS5, but that's just because it's like they say it's a demo, but it's more like a alpha 2, because the game doesn't come out until March. But it comes out on everything in March outside of the Switch. But for PC, it's Epic Game Store. So if you want to buy it on PC, you gotta play it on Epic Games, which is somehow like I haven't heard an Epic Games exclusive in a while, and somehow this got an Epic Games exclusive. So we will see. Maybe it's timed, so who knows. But yeah, I mean the gameplay's still there. So look forward to that. And that's it for
curious, actually, before we move on.
Yeah.
We've all played Final Fantasy 1, yes?
Yes.
I haven't.
Okay, so do we think this is actually a retelling of Final Fantasy 1, or do you think that they're just using a bunch of Final Fantasy 1 references to kind of tell their own story?
I think it's Final Fantasy 1. I think it's a reimagining of Final.
So you think this is an
Mhm.
actual honest attempt to retell that story?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Final Fantasy 1 was so loosey-goosey in the way it told its story, was so wild. It could be. I'm still not entirely sold on that idea, but yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
was
called
interested
Final
to hear what
Fantasy
you two think.
Origin. It's Final Fantasy Origin, so it's the origin of Final Fantasy, which is Final Fantasy 1. So
Is
Do
there.
you think it's like no more timey-wimey stuff is actually connected to like how all the timeline stuff is happening in 7 remake?
Oh God, no. Hope
If
not,
I see
please.
one goddamn specter.
Oh yeah, no, I hope not. I hope it's just Nomura and the other guy that he has one for the narrative. Is they're just making their own reimagining of Final Fantasy 1. Because like even he stated, he was like, because when they revealed that Jack's last name is Garland, and people were asking him why would you reveal such a heavy spoiler? He said it's because everybody already knew. Everybody was already saying that Jack is Garland or whatever. And he said that there was no reason for them to play coy about it. to just reveal it, because obviously they probably have other things in the game that's gonna like they're gonna be like, oh crap, what the hell, or whatever. So, and if you took the picture of because like there's a picture of Jack on the cover of like the cover of the thing, and then there's another picture of like
that's Garland, absolutely,
of Garland or whatever, and he put it side by side. It's literally just Jack, but with like a bunch of shit on his face and all that crap. So it's everybody already knew. So they didn't want to play coy with that, because they have other surprises in the game that people aren't going to be able to guess. So yeah, I think it's just their retelling of what of what they think of Final Fantasy 1. It's not going to be what actually happened in Final Fantasy 1. It's going to be just their own their own story about it.
Can't wait to randomly run into Warmack and just die outright.
Well, I mean, that Tiamat design actually looked pretty good. So next, we have what looks like Dalit Monster Hunter. It's just Monster Hunter, guys.
It's just Monster Hunter.
Capcom didn't show up this game.
I'm sure there were a lot of other ideas, but the Monster Hunter crew just tied them up and threw them in the back. This was the Monster Hunter show.
All right, Dalit, since you're our Monster Hunter expert, you can take over this section.
Oh, am I an expert? All right. Well, the boys at Capcom came together to give us an update on Monster Hunter Rise, and it's getting a couple more collabs. As we all know, there was a Mega Man one. There has been I almost called it Amaterasu, Okami one. And there's going to be a Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection one coming up very soon. So for all of you who lost many a quarter playing the original Ghosts and Goblins, and now you get to do it again, only in Monster Hunter. I thought the trailer for this was fantastic. They referenced a lot of monsters using the Monster Hunter crew. That was really nice. Along with that, we have new voices added for the Hunters, this time being a character I am unfamiliar with. I believe it is the village elder's daughter. So if you're into collecting all of the voices, you'll have that. And then they showed an entire concert. Like there was just a whole concert. It was great.
Whole ass concert.
It was just a whole ass concert in the middle of this. It was really good. Kind of confusing though. They had the singer for the Maidens come out and sing the Maiden Hub theme, which is nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was.
That's pretty.
They had the narrator come out with his biwa and do the opening to at least Magnum Malo. In that, in the very oh my god, what kind of style? What would you call that style? Like the way they handled the monsters intros? If you know.
Oh yeah, with the whole like no, it was the whole old school like Japanese where it's all kind of like
a type of theater,
grayscale,
and I forget.
Yeah.
It was grand.
Shadow puppets? Is it puppets?
No, he was.
No.
I didn't see it.
No. Like, remember the monster intros in Monster Hunter Rise?
Oh, like old movies style.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had him come out, sit down, and sing his openings, since they're sung in Japanese, play his biwa, and really tell the story. It's very theatrical. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Because in the American version, we just have someone narrate over top of that, and apparently in the JP version, he's singing over top of it in the theater way. I enjoyed it. It was fantastic, and they followed that up with another song before moving on to kind of something big that we knew about, but we weren't certain how they were going to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
They revealed Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. This will, in fact, be an expansion for Monster Hunter Rise.
Yep.
So we got to see the new flagship.
It's a paid expansion.
It is a paid expansion. Yeah. I forget how much it's going to be. I'm sure we'll see more information on that in the coming future. They only had so much to show right now.
Mm-hmm.
What we do know is it's going to be absolutely massive. It's coming in 2022. and it will feature new monsters, new locales, an additional story,
New mechanics.
and new mechanics. I don't actually know what that means yet because they didn't show any new mechanics.
Probably something
But
like the bug things.
I should imagine so. What they did show were two new monsters. The Sunbreak flagship Malzinos. Ooh, I had trouble remembering the name there for a moment. Malzinos, who looks absolutely rad. And the returning Shogun Senator, which absolutely tore through all of my lovely Ludroth.
Aw.
Why is my Ludroth the punching bag? I love that dumb, like, banana iguana. But yeah, no, they look great. I can't wait to see more.
Yeah,
And I guess
can't
we'll
wait-
wrap this
can't
up with
wait
the
for
Monster
that.
Hunter Stories 2. There will be further updates. Apparently, they really want this to do well, and it already has been doing well, and it looks absolutely great. So at some
Mhm.
point, I'm going to snap like a twig and pick this up.
I've already picked it up and it's fun.
With the upcoming title event, we'll introduce Kulv Taroth from World, which is a surprise addition because of how big she was. She will be a monstie. We saw
Yay.
actual clips of her being ridden around and fighting. Along with her comes the Molten Tigrex and Dread King Rathalos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's gonna be
Goldie
grand.
and Goldie and Silver.
So in the next update, you will have access to both Goldie and Silver, yeah. Along with a co-op quest featuring the first black dragon in this game, to my knowledge, Fatalis. They're starting off
Woohoo.
with the tried, the true, the oldie, Fatalis.
The Death Machine.
Certainly was in World. Tell you what.
I wish I did that fight in World. It's so good.
I
Ugh.
just watched live fight it. And...
Yeah, I watched a bunch of people fight it too.
Yeah.
It looks so good. Along with the collabs for Monster Hunter Rise, there's also a Sonic one.
Of course there is. There was a Sonic one in a previous game as well, so...
Mhm.
Yeah, there is a Sonic one. They haven't given any details on it, but they have confirmed that they're also doing Sonic as well.
Okay, nice.
And they gave the release date for Rise's PC version, which is January 12th of next year.
So this will be in time for everyone to get together, get their gear up, and make ready for
Sunbreak.
Sunbreak.
Yeah, which hits PC and Switch at the same time.
No
So
exclusivity
there's-
this
Oh,
time.
good.
Such a good idea. Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
Good.
it happens at the same time, and no like PC being fucking like 6 months behind.
It
now
should
all
be
they
mentioned.
Need to do... Oh, go ahead.
It should be mentioned that the PC will actually not just be the Switch version. It has been seen too with higher res textures, a higher frame rate. So you'll be getting like the experience that you've waited for if you have in fact waited for the PC version.
Yeah, and what else? What else was there? Well, I had something in my head and I couldn't remember. But it's Monster Hunter. Can't wait for Monster Hunter. Gonna play a bunch of months. I've
Mhm.
picked up Stories 2, and Stories 2, I haven't gotten too far into it, but Stories 2 is really good. It's the better Pokemon.
I might, depending on how classes go, I might forsake what I was doing and pick up stories in the future, just to have that to play when I'm going back and forth between classes. Because that seems like a nice little easy game to get into, do a quick fight, and get ready for in between classes.
But Dalit, if you do that, you can't play with me.
Oh, there's no cross save. That is true.
Yeah, and there's no cross save or cross platform play. Feels sad, man. There hasn't been any talks on whether there's going to be any cross save between the PC and the Switch version of Rise. Expect there to not be, but people have made Capcom know that they really want it. So, who knows? Maybe they'll surprise everybody. Because that was a big problem between the PC version of World and the like console version of World, because people didn't play one because there was no cross save.
Keep yelling about it, people. They'll hear us
Yeah.
eventually.
Eventually. So Arc System Works had a small thing that they went through. They showed River City Saga: Three Kingdoms. I've never gotten into the River City Girls or River City like universe. It's a beat 'em up game.
Yeah.
So if you like beat 'em ups, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I certainly know about the River City, traditional beat 'em up with the boys and now with the girls. But
Mhm.
I'm wholly unfamiliar with this saga and Three Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They had a couple of VTubers like play through the game and comment
They
on
did,
thing
yes.
yeah.
Yep. And they showed Guilty Gear Strive. It's gonna be at what is it? Arc Revo?
Arc Revo, yeah, in February. Street Fighter was also announced during the last 2 seconds of the Capcom, Monster Hunter panel. So both of these games sort of feel like an afterthought to these presentations. The focus was clearly on the other thing. For Arc Systems, it was the River City Saga, both River City Girls 2, and I quite enjoyed the aesthetic of River City Girls 1, and I loved the English side of things, so I'll be enjoying this as well. And River City Saga, which I've never heard of and probably will not be interested in. Sorry if you are. I'm unfamiliar with it.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear tournament. I think they were doing open calls for it.
Yes, there will be qualifiers this winter. I believe in December, because Arc Revo is in February.
Oh, which, by the way, for people that didn't know, Evo is canceled. This next Evo is actually canceled. So Sony doesn't want to do it because of, I think it was COVID reasons.
Yeah, COVID was spiking again, and they didn't want to take any chances with the new variants out.
Yeah. So no Evo again for this year. But apparently, as Dalit said, there were some commemorative items being shown for Guilty Gear, and the quote was "goddamn May cushion."
Yeah. It's a cute little chibi May.
It is, and she's got a dolphin, and it reminds me of Pop Team Epic in the style they've gone with.
Oh, nice. I like Pop Team Epic.
And you got some cute.
But yeah, no, it doesn't speak, but I just hear Totsugeki every time they brought it up on camera. So,
next up we have Microsoft. They had a big conference shown. Because
unlike the other conferences, this one still felt very Western in delivery. Where
Xbox,
it is Microsoft. Where the other teams kind of sent people to talk around, have like a round table of sorts. This was what you would get from an E3. Phil came out, announced everything, and then they just ran through material.
Yeah.
What was good for JP side was, though, they're going to be doing cloud gaming. That's going to be available for Japan and a few other countries too. That wasn't on the list before. So that's actually pretty good news.
I'm happy you caught it.
I feel like Japan is one of the only countries that cloud gaming is really good for, because it's not good for America. Let me tell you.
No,
the internet structure is pretty good here. So
exactly. It'll be good for every place with like really rock solid internet structures, which does kind of point out Japan, Korea, possibly China. I'm unfamiliar, and a lot of smaller EU countries individually. Perhaps not the entire EU unto itself, but it's just not a thing that is like rock solid here in America yet, despite being where this was developed.
Yeah. So they showed off Car Porn, the video game.
It looks so good.
Forza Horizon.
I don't even like Sims, but it looks so good.
I like watching people play these games because it's so shiny. It literally looks like you're playing IRL driving. So
yeah,
it's It's very interesting. They're trying to sell it to the JP crowd. No
It would sell
big
well, honestly,
information.
because they, yeah, like Gran Turismo and stuff is very popular over here. They like the Sims.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is.
It should be noted that there's not a whole lot of new information in this Microsoft
No.
delivery. It's mostly just reestablishing a lot of their E3 concepts in a Japanese package for Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah.
There is some new stuff, but it's mostly just going over what we already knew.
Yeah. Forza Horizon comes out in November. Xbox will be partnering with 200 Japanese indie developers. Many will be on Game Pass. So for
Speaking of
indie
new
developers, yeah. Speaking like when it comes to Game Pass and indie developers, I feel like Game Pass is really good for indie developers because, while you know, bigger AAA games will get like a lot of their revenue from people buying the video games. Indie devs don't normally get that a lot because people don't normally buy like a lot of indie games. But Microsoft will pay these indie developers like a big lump sum for having the game on Game Pass. So that I can agree with Game Pass for. I never understand people like AAA developers putting games on Game Pass, because I don't know what the monetization is for games that are on Game Pass, especially if they're like day one Game Pass. It really destroys like game sales. It really does, and I have no idea what Microsoft must be paying like these actually Microsoft must be paying these publishers a crap ton of money, because we know a lot of this money's not going to the actual devs.
Yeah, if I remember an older piece of content correctly, Games Pass isn't entirely profitable yet, but it will be very soon.
Yeah.
And it's fine for both AAA and AA and indie developers. It's just a way to get it out, get it in people's hands. A lot of the idea is people who were going to buy it full price probably still will. They'll probably just walk out, they'll get the collector's edition, they'll get whatever they want from it. But people who otherwise wouldn't get a game like this now have a chance to try it. And if it gets them hooked on, especially a series of games, if they're not all on Game Pass, now they go out and look for it.
Yeah.
That's what I've understood, and I believe that's what has been said in previous interviews. It's hard to remember. But yeah, no, this is still apparently a very lucrative thing for not just Microsoft, but everyone involved.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know what publisher and developer wouldn't do it if it wasn't going to make them any money. So
Exactly. It's just about the specifics, which unfortunately none of us know because we're not in that part of the industry.
It just seems weird, is what
it does. I definitely see where you're coming from.
Speaking of games that are being put on Game Pass, Scarlet Nexus is getting a title update 1.04. Bunch of costume bits. Promise of more content soon. But when it comes to games like Scarlet Nexus, there's no telling what they mean by content. Because like the last update they gave was bonding events and like a new thing to get with bonding events. So I'm not 100% sure on that one. Scarlet Nexus is coming to Game Pass, if not already there. I'm confused. I'm unaware of like the actual date for it, but will be or already on Game Pass right now. So if you have Game Pass and haven't played Scarlet Nexus, go play it because it's a pretty good game. Next, AI Somnium Files. Nirvana, as in like a capital A. Nirvana Initiative. Had a trailer drop. AI Somnium Files is, I don't know, I haven't seen people actually play the game, but I've seen people talk about the game, and it's very story heavy, like kind of visual novel-esque video game. But apparently
that's certainly the vibe from the trailer. Yeah,
I don't know if this is a sequel or like an update to the game, but it's like a mystery. It's a mystery like detective solving game. Kind of, I guess in the same vein of like Ace Attorney, but I guess more tech heavy, I guess. But they showed that. Back for Blood comes out October 12th, which is in 6 days. So that comes out pretty soon. They showed I guess they showed a trailer.
They did, yeah. Same one that
yeah.
we've seen before.
Okay. Redfall, which is another Left 4 Dead type video game, but with vampires. No actual information, but I guess they just showed another trailer, so that'll come out
Yeah,
at
it was
some
just
point in
like
time.
we are translating it to Japanese. Here's the
Exactly.
sample of our voice.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
All right. Starfield, it exists. Probably there will be, I guess, a Japanese version of this game
Todd
as well.
Howard even came out to chat about it. Okay.
He did, yeah. Old Todd came out to have some words. I think Todd was smart enough to be the one person to not try to speak Japanese.
Oh.
He just came out
Don't tell me Phil tried to speak Japanese.
Oh, I wasn't joking.
No, don't make fun. At least they tried. Like, okay, it's hard to speak different languages. Don't make fun of it.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to make fun of both of them. They both tried to say
No.
2 words. Minasan, konnichiwa,
Yeah.
and they both butchered them. It was grand. I love them. I think it's great
Eh.
that they're making the effort, though.
Are they actually making the effort, or was it just put down on a piece of paper to say Ohio, konnichiwa, minasan, or so like?
It was
Are they
100%
actually
written
trying?
down for them. It was 100% written down for them because you can tell they have no idea how to say it. But I enjoy that this is Phil's 3rd or 4th time doing this, and he still sounds like a Texan trying to speak Japanese. I love it. I think it's great.
If you try next time, I'm going to make fun of your accents, okay?
Absolutely.
Konnichiwa, minasan.
Okay, maybe not that bad, but it's still very obviously, this is a bit, but I'm trying.
Yeah. Then they had an indie section where they showed off a couple of indie games.
Craftopia looks interesting.
Craftopia
I was
looks
interested
great.
in this one. Yeah.
I'm assuming
this game completely missed me. Do you know what this is?
I'm assuming you craft in this game.
Well, yeah, obviously. But...
yeah. No. So yeah, essentially you could have free reign of designing your character, so you can custom. It's very much open world sandbox. Do what you want. It has very much Genshin Impact and
it did look like that, yeah.
To it. Yeah.
Ooh.
There are mounts. There are mounts. There are there's combat in it too. Collectibles and whatnot, crafting obviously. Plenty of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not big into like the survival build-a-thon games, but this actually genuinely looked really, really nice.
So basically, Genshin without the Gamba. Gotcha shit.
That sounds like a good game to me.
I'm all for that.
Sounds like a good game to me. I like Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
I might genuinely give that a try. Like it looked really nice, and I'd be willing to take a chance to see how it plays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next up, they had The Good Life as a slice of life indie game. It seems like a UK Sims game.
I'm sorry, because I'm sorry that anyone who's giving Aqua shit, that's my fault. That's what I wrote. Because I'm still not entirely sure what to make of this game. It kind of looks like you play as some sort of British person. I'm not even sure wherein it is, and you're just going about your day, having your life. Maybe there's RPG mechanics. It wasn't clear. I was more interested in what comes next.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Mighty Goose.
Mighty Goose.
Mighty Goose. Side-scrolling, heavy arms, goose action game. That's right, a side-scrolling goose game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up thing, so, yeah.
This is no longer a stealth game. The geese are here for war.
The goose upgraded. He's like, all right, bitches, time to
it's like
time
Metal
to take
Slug
out
type
trash.
of a deal.
Yeah, actually it is, kind of.
That sounds interesting, actually. Especially playing as a goose and doing that.
It looks like a bunch of fun.
Next, Lapin has written down a cute bunny Metroidvania game.
That's
Those are
all I could
words.
get. It's all I could get from the trailer. You play a bun going through a Metroidvania style stage. Seems like it's going to be wholesome. Trying to find other buns, but I didn't get much from it. Remember that the point of this section wasn't so much to go into detail about all of these, but give them some amount of airtime they otherwise wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah. And there were many more.
There were others, and some of them I didn't get their names because they were hyper stylized and I can't read, and other ones were in Japanese and I just couldn't follow.
Yes. But yeah, it was just showing that, hey, Microsoft is funding all of these indie games, and and for the Japanese audience to actually be on the lookout for them.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Microsoft work their way back into Japan after being essentially forced out so many years ago with their huge console.
Yeah,
They're making an effort.
I hear people actually buy the Xbox over in Japan, and not as much as they would in other countries, but I still hear people have bought in them. So I hear that there is a market for.
And even if there's not a
Microsoft
market for the Xbox itself, with the guys at Microsoft saying that they do want to move towards PCs being considered Xboxes, that could be big because I know PCs are finally like catching on, like full size PCs are catching on nowadays. So
yes. And last up, I wrote down some Bamco news. I don't know if some of this was even at TGS, but it was just some stuff that came out.
It happened around the time.
That came out around the time. First off, Bamco decided to change their logo. That's right, boys.
Yeah.
The orange and yellow Bamco logo is now gone, and now it's even shittier. It is just a straight line of Bandai Namco. Fun happens or something. Fun something.
Fun for all into the future. I actually do have a couple of like legitimate issues with this. Past the personal ones of they've had that logo forever, it is genuinely iconic.
Yes.
This poses two problems to me. First of all, it looks very low effort.
Yes.
Which is in and of itself, it's not a terrible thing. Sometimes simple is the best way to go. But to follow up that idea, this is Twitch, right? This is like legitimately how Twitch brands certain things they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's a bizarre choice.
It's gonna be
Like,
confusing.
yeah, exactly. Because if I see this and I'm not paying attention, I'm not going to think that's Bandai Namco. I'm going to think it's a Twitch sponsorship or a Twitch thing. I'm not in love with this decision. I am even less in love with the final product.
Yes, I am very I just don't understand. Like, after how many years of having their previous logo, why is the overlapping colors an issue now?
See, Bandai Namco happened in 2005, right? 2006? Sometime around there.
Yeah, I think the merger happened around then.
So the updated icon would have been around that time. And that's, I mean, like, you know it's Bandai Namco without actually reading the words Bandai Namco. You see the color splotch. Now, I will give it to them. It's not a very good icon, but like at this point, it's 15, 16 years into it. We all know it on site immediately.
Oh, even their wiki's already updated with it. Bandai Namco was founded March 31st, 2006, so 15 years ago.
2006, okay.
I just don't understand. Like, this looks so bad. Anyway,
I think the biggest mistake on this one is the color choice. I think even if they use that awful Twitch type of like, I don't even know what to say, like dialogue box style design.
Yeah, it's just a
they
text
should have
box.
kept the colors so it would be like identifiable. Red, yellow, orange, white words. Immediately understand it's Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
Agree.
But no, it looks like trash now. I already stated earlier that Tales of Arise is doing a double collaboration with Sword Art Online. I stated what Arise is getting, but Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris, which is their recent video game, is getting a Alphen and Shion outfit for Kirito and Asuna.
So what kind of
all
game
they're
is the
getting.
Alicization? Because I didn't know about this. Or if I did,
Okay.
I forgot.
I played like 6 hours of Alicization Online, or Alicization Lycoris.
Online, it's an MMO.
No, it's not online. I said Alicization Online because that's the game or the thing that
Oh, okay.
that Kirito's in. But it's called Alicization Lycoris. It's an action JRPG. I've only, like I said, I played 7.3 hours of it. It's you go around, you're in a party of characters. It depends on who you're with. I mean, you mainly play as Kirito, but you can have Asuna in there. You can have Yu-Gi-Oh, who's a Alicization character. There's a couple of knights that you meet throughout the storyline, and there's Alice as well. It is, yeah. I mean, it's an action JRPG, and it goes through a game version of the Alicization story. It's not one for one, but it's still good. The world in it's actually really good as well. That's one of the main reasons I actually like the Alicization arc in the anime. Yeah, I mean, there's not much. Like I said, I've only played 7 hours. I'm barely even out of the first village, so I can't really tell you anything other than it's action JRPG, and you play as Kirito, and other various other characters in the storyline. But if I had to say anything, it's probably the best Sword Art Online video game, and I know that's not saying much since literally all of them are pretty much garbage. Except for Fatal Bullet. Fatal Bullet's a little weird. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's like a mediocre. And I would put that alongside with Alicization Lycoris. It's not horrible, but it's not like a very like super good action JRPG. It's if you like the SAO series, and this is probably the best one, the best like video game adaptation of the SAO series, at least for this section of the anime. But it's whatever. So yeah, they're getting the outfits for Kirito and Asuna in there, which I guess is a bit, it's a bit what's the word, I guess a one-sided collaboration, because like they're only getting costumes, but fucking Arise is getting a battle, you're getting weapons, you're getting costumes, you're getting a mystic art or whatever. Possibly, if this is the worst timeline, you're actually getting Kirito and Asuna as characters to play as. So who knows? Bamco also showed off. They had like a little festival for some of their mobile games that are coming out. There's a mobile game for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It's called Isekai Memories. And you play as...
Well, how was it? Was it players?
It's a 3D action game, so it's gonna be it's a mobile game. It's a 3D action mobile game. So there's gonna be gacha elements in it.
Yeah.
I looked that up really quickly. I mean, will I play it? Maybe. I actually just recently finished Slime, and it's actually a really fucking good anime. And I don't really say that about many isekai animes. So
Let's hear that you said this. You're in for it, because they had to really work for you to start this.
Yeah, they did. My other friends had to push this anime on me, and they know I've come out of this anime thinking, yeah, this is actually a really good anime. And now I can't wait for season 3. Let's see. They showed an Idolmaster mobile game as well. I didn't actually really look at that, but it's an Idolmaster thing, so it's probably like rhythm, like kind of like Love Live. And that's all really Bamco showed. They didn't really have too much of a thing. There's just like, hey, we're pushing Arise stuff, and we're pushing our mobile games. So And that's actually kind of all the big news out of TGS. Nothing too. It's pretty much. It was like a mini E3 where we didn't actually get like too much. It was just confirmations. We're doing all this stuff still. Nothing mind blowing. Other than
True, I would agree.
Jack whipping out a phone and playing like 90s music.
Yeah, okay.
Music.
That was pretty surprising, must be said.
A couple of like special mentions tomorrow. There is going to be the final Smash character reveal. Literally about like 2 hours ago, Sora was trending on Twitter, so I'm assuming it's everybody going, please put Sora into Smash.
Don't be silly. It's going to be Anna Banana-chan.
Yeah. Oh no! Why would you say that?
Anna Banana-chan. Oh god.
No, I saw a really fun idea that they won't do, but I kind of love. It's just have Sakurai be the last character.
Oh, I did see that too, dude. That would be hilarious. What if
it would
what
be
if it
grand.
is? What if it is? Sakurai now joins the battle.
I'm still of the idea that they should genuinely just keep adding more characters to the game.
Yeah, but I don't see why they. Well, it's because they're like, oh, well, now that we have all the characters, we need to create a new Smash game.
So. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. But unlike this game, you're not going to get over half of these characters back because it's going to be tied up in rights issues, left, right, and center.
Yeah, no.
Which is why I think that they should keep this game going because they have this is such a great foundation for like a platform. But that's not how Nintendo works, which is a bit disappointing. So this last event. Character reveal that is going to be a big thing, and I would advise that everyone remembers you're going to be disappointed unless it's your character that's coming out next. You're going to be disappointed because this is very likely the last one, but try not to ruin everyone else's fun.
Yeah,
unless it's Goku, you can ruin their fun.
Yeah, no, if it's Goku, please bash every Dragon Ball Z fan out there. Please. 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 We already have too many Gokus in the Goku video game. We don't need another Goku in another game. So please. No Goku. Let it be Reen Schwarzer. Or Estelle Bright or something like that. Who knows? Let it be a Trails character. That would be hilarious. And another quick mention was there was an interview with Sakaguchi and Yoshi P. And they quickly discussed a few things about Final Fantasy 16. With no news or anything, just some general like development updates. Yoshi P has confirmed that the main scenario is complete. They are working on parts of the side quests. The character models are done, but they also need to increase some of the quality of some parts of the game. They've been working for a very long time, and this is going to be a very action-oriented game. Sakaguchi also joked around and told Yoshida to let him write a side quest, just like how Yokotaro requested. Yoshi P laughs and says that they're already working on the last bits of the side quests. The dev team started off small, which we figured that because part of the dev team that started this game actually broke off from after Heavensward came out. So they started off with like just a couple of people, and it grew into like the big development team that it is now. And
long time ago.
Yeah, that's very long. Literally after Heavensward came out is when they started working on 16. And they focused mainly on doing the scenario first. All this came out from Audrey's Twitter, Aitai Kimochi. She covered pretty much all the things. She can speak Japanese and all that. And so, yeah, pretty much the game is done. I have suggested that after Endwalker comes out, we will start seeing a big push of information for 16, just like how they did with Kingdom Hearts 3 going into Final Fantasy 7. So expect expect a lot of 16 news starting in like December or January. And hopefully this game comes out in like first quarter, second quarter of next year.
Well,
hopefully. But that's it. That's all TGS. That's all of TGS. TGS is done and over with, and we don't have to talk about video games anymore until next week.
But we will.
What are you guys doing this week?
I guess I'm playing through Stranger of Paradise. Because, I mean, I talk a lot of crap, but the demo's free and the game felt good to play as. So I have to see if the new classes live up to that. Outside of that, I'm going to continue my trek through Vana'diel. Or Vana'diel.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll need to be a Malaka.
Malaka.
Try and do that.
Malaka. I am hurting myself because I hate marketing. All right.
Okay.
Marketing has made me re-download Sword Art Online Alicization like Chorus, so I can pick that up and play that randomly when I'm not doing Kuro. Like I said, I'm not streaming the next 2 nights because I have to be at work at like 1:00 p.m. So I can't stay up until like 8:00 in the morning, like I've been doing playing Dark Souls. But I will be playing more Dark Souls Thursday, I think. Yeah, and and Wednesday is when I'll start back up streaming Kuro. So in the meantime, in my little bit of free time, I will play some Sword Art Online and hopefully maybe get into that more. Maybe, who knows? But that's all I plan to play this week. I think mainly Kuro and Dark Souls.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Dark Souls. I just don't know. I never enjoyed it before, but you know, I like it literally. You play with a friend, and it's actually kind of more fun now. Actually, you know what? The real thing is? Evan's actually a really good entertainer, is what it is, because he talks nonstop while we're playing. All right. And he also makes me run into shit that like you're actually supposed to in Dark Souls. So like, you know, in this one area he made me like go forward ahead and then a zombie or whatever popped out of nowhere and pushed me off the side of the edge of off the edge of something. Like he goes, I knew that was gonna happen. he goes, this is a rite of passage. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, he's a very good entertainer while playing Dark Souls. He's also a good guide too, because that guy has way too much in his head about these games. He just like remembers everything. I'm just what the hell. But yeah,
dude, sometimes you just need to sit down and watch like 12 hours straight of Vati video.
He did was he the one that did like the 7-hour like Bloodborne like explanation of like the story or some shit or whatever?
No, I don't think Vati does long form that long.
Okay. I'll maybe sit down. I know I'm gonna get into Bloodborne after DS3, so
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I know. I've played a little bit of it. Like I played a little bit of all the Souls games. At least I played a little bit of one before actually going through all of one. I played a little bit of Bloodborne. I've played a good bit of actually Sekiro, but that's a whole different breed of game. Yeah, but that's what I'm gonna be doing this week. And that's all we have this week. You said we're gonna talk about a certain subject next week.
Yeah, I don't see why not. You brought it up. It's a pretty solid topic to talk about.
All right. We're not gonna reveal that now because spoilers.
Just in case it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
just in case.
You guys have a good week, and we will be good, and we will see you then.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.